All right. I believe I'm live. It's a weird feeling because I haven't done it in a while again. So, anyways, probably nobody's going to watch the stream, and I'm completely aware of that. And I believe like my previous stream was like spent like half the stream I was just talking about how nobody's watching it. So yeah, the other half I was struggling to model a flask or whatever, an elixir bottle. Hopefully this time's gonna be different. Although, to be fair, I won't like be surprised if I end up not talking later if nobody's gonna be watching it or stuff. So yeah. So anyways, today's plan is to handle audio synthesis from scratch using C++. And well, from scratch is a bit of a big word for that because I'm actually using like RT audio library. So it's not like completely from scratch. I'm not writing my own audio library. I'm just writing a song. So the goal, the end goal is basically instead of sending an MP3 file to someone, you send them an executable, which is completely unhinged, unsafe, stupid, but I'm gonna do it. So that's what we're doing today, and the stream is because the stream is here because I just sort of don't feel like going on this adventure alone. So yeah, I sort of got started with it, sort of because I didn't really get all that far right now. Although I believe it's worth noting that I'm sort of working on a side project that's a digital audio workstation. So yeah, we will probably have to do some refactoring to this thing I wrote here, but whatever. This here, by the way, is basically boilerplate code. It's taken from Dear IMGUI, which I'm using like as a sort of helper frontend, sort of. We'll see. In any case, uh, yeah. So the goal for today, because I'm not going to end this project today, definitely. Not sure if there's gonna be another stream or maybe a video updating on it, but yeah. So the goal today is just make this code less messy, and like actually get this code to like sync for me, basically. That's what I want. I want C++ to sync for me. I believe the stream quality is terrible, by the way. Is it like YouTube thing or are my OBS settings completely fucked? Oh, shit. Yeah, the settings are fucked. Oh god damn it. Oh my god. I need to restart the stream. No. Anyways, see you in a second. And we are hopefully back. I really hope this like didn't register as the stream ending, although I do believe it did. Not sure how to check it in, so yeah. But we're probably back again, so yeah. I need to check out if audio is working. Like so many things can go wrong right now, and I'm completely aware that things are probably going to go wrong. I need to stream more often to get used to stuff like this, but you know, there's no time for that. I have a busy life. It's not like I'm gonna waste it in streaming, right? For a total of 0 viewers. Let's see. Is the sound working? Nobody's watching, so I have to like watch my own stream. This is just pathetic. This is just pathetic. Alright, let me check. Okay, so the sound is apparently fucked, which is interesting. Oh my god. Why is it so bad? Why is it not working? Can I have like a preview? Maybe. Can I do something about it? Oh god. It's definitely not working. But why? God damn it. I hate OBS sometimes. I absolutely hate OBS sometimes. Is this any better? Now I have to wait for the stream to catch up. God damn it. I'm just struggling to run a live stream. Is anyone watching and can tell me if it's better? I believe it is better. Yeah, it is. It's fixed now. Alright. So apparently OBS is dumb and stuff, so yeah. I just have to like work around it right now. Which is hopefully going to work somehow. No clue why it's so bad, but like it's better now, so whatever. Let's see. Right. So what this app does for now, I just needed to use C compiler for that and make the code bigger. So let me compile that. Hopefully it's gonna compile. This stream is such a failure right now, by the way. Include errors detected. Yeah, yada yada. No worries. So what this app does for now is like it displays this little. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I forgot Plasma can do that. All right, never mind. So it displays this little window here. And the only thing this window can do is like, I can't hear it. Why can't I hear it? Oh my god, this stream is such a fucking failure. 1 to 9. 1 to 9. It's using like, I can't really change the device on the fly, so I need to like set it in code, but yeah, it just plays sound, right? So what I can do is like, and that's everything this app does for now. But you can see this timer here, it's just running constantly. And what we're going to be trying to achieve is for this timer to like control the playback itself. Oh, hi. But is the sound working? I keep this to, I have to keep the stream English because I'm completely using this as my English class project basically. So I just need the footage for presentation. So I need to just yap around in English. But oh my god, those were some secrets. Oh fuck, I leaked them. Sorry, Asmo. God damn it. Oh my god, I fucked up. Never mind. So is the sound okay? I wonder. Like, is the sound like? Is it like a clear wave or is it choppy or something? Because the stream doesn't wanna cooperate with me. God damn it. All right. So what we're trying to do. Okay. So first things first. Is it working? I need a reply. Somebody, please, 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 please. Someone tell me if it's working. In any case, so this code here is, oh, I need to keep it big. It's terrible because there's a lot of stuff going on here, right? So we don't really want it this way, do we? So basically what's important in here is like there's this part which does the initialization of the audio library, and the rest is basically rendering the UI. So like I'm using IMGUI, which is like this great library. And what it does is basically it renders the sample sample that's currently played, right? And it allows me to use those sliders to control frequency. In theory, if I were to comment out this part in here, the output basically, oh, the volume is constantly 0, never mind, so I need to turn it up by a code, of course, because nobody's doing compilations, like nobody's doing sliders for that. Yeah, so wait, no, I have a slider for that, never mind, I'm just blind. So yeah, I can just use the slider, right, and the other one as well. So what we're trying to get working here for now is going to be like an interface for me to work with this like single synthesizer workflow. Because all an audio synthesizer really does is like you have this like basically what this program does currently, right, is I have a frequency and a volume slider, and I can control them manually. So like it just does a sine wave, right? So I have it set to a frequency and it just does does the sine wave, right? So all I need for it to be playable, sort of like all I need for it to play itself is for the amplitude of the sine wave. So this is like the amplitude, right? 0. So I want the amplitude of this sine wave to be basically controlled via something that's called an envelope, which is like, let me show a graph of it. So nope, not this envelope. Signal envelope maybe. Yeah. Basically the simplest and most common envelope that's used in audio is the ADSR envelope. So it stands for attack, decay, sustain, release. So what we do is we apply something that looks like this to the signal, right? So instead of it like just doing this little sine wave here, what it is supposed to sort of do is like we start at 0, then we like slowly get the signal stronger and stronger. That's where attack phase ends, basically, somewhere around here, right? This is the attack part, this time here. And later, what we do is we like decay it, so like the signal gets a little weaker. And then it like stays weaker until we release the key. And after that, it's just the sustain and just sort of like does this, right? So here we like, there's the decay part, and that's the release part or whatever. There's the sustain part. Wait, that's mix them up. This is the sustain, that's the release, basically. So we do like this, just like that, whatever. So how do we generate that? Well, it's linear, right? So it should be pretty simple. But first, let's decouple the code a bit. So I'll be trying to get this UI stuff out of the way. So presumably I do something like because the renderer stuff is completely like those are two separate parts, right? So maybe something like interface.cpp and interface.h. Should I do it object style or just plain old C style? I suck at both, by the way. It's worth noting that I can't really write any meaningful C++ code, right? I just completely suck at like C++ programming. I suck at programming in general, but C++ is very new to me, by the way. So let's see. That's the audio processing part. So it's sort of separated right now. Because what happens, basically, how the library works, is we get the user data here. That's a pointer to our user data. And the user data can be anything, because it's a void pointer or whatever. So I have this like struct here that stores all the data that's required, and the interface controls all the data. So that's the way it's like sort of interacting with each other, right? Yeah, what we do now for it to like work. How do I like decouple it? It's difficult for me. Those are simple things for C++ devs, but I'm not a C++ dev. Basically, what I want in main, in the end, is something like I want like send data to be like kept here, right? I initialize it into like send data, whatever. Can I do it? Yeah, I can. And what I do is like the audio loop or something like that, right? Device 1, so like 130, 130. Do audio or something. I'm sort of, yeah, because I need a main loop, right? So maybe something like audio engine. Yeah, that would work. So audio engine is, let's just use engine is new audio engine. Pass the devices in, right? And I'll use an auto interface. UI is new interface engine, and here like some parameters or whatever. So we're doing it object style basically. And then the main loop would be something like while UI should like while UI dot should close. You basically stay in that loop and just do like UI.update. Fuck, forgetting those arrows here. And here we'll like engine dot shut down UI dot, forgetting those, UI shut down, right? What more? Yeah, probably engine start, UI start would be a good idea here. The engine updates separately from the UI, by the way, so it's like multi-threading basically handled. And now let's just write them because like I just imagined some functions. So what I'll do, this is my interface engine. Interface engine, and I'm gonna, yeah, whatever. Probably something like this. So class interface engine. It'd be way more entertaining for people to watch this stream if I actually knew C++, wouldn't it? What I need here, definitely like, let's do it sort of, yeah, void with exceptions basically. So start, no parameters, a constructor, definitely a constructor. Those are gonna be public, by the way. Void update. Maybe this should be like a boolean should close, because I don't think we should be setting it anywhere. And shut down. What don't you like? Create definition. Yeah, sure. Create them. Create them all. Can I maybe do something like this or not? No, I can't. No, that's unfortunate. But let's create definitions for all of them. And let's see where this goes, where this takes us. And maybe like a private, because I'll need like a boolean to store it somewhere, so should close. Can I like name it the same? Or will it collide? It collides. Alright. Let's do it C++, C# style with members. The stream is probably very quiet, so I might turn on some like Twitch safe lo-fi. By the way, who cares? Let's just like lo-fi hip hop or whatever. It's just sort of like gonna chill in the background, right? Hope it's not too loud. Gonna get copyright claim to help to buy the music, by the way. I know it already. What am I gonna do here? Let's just return amp should close. Here, what we do is interface engine. Alright, so let's not forget to include interface engine H. This should be an HPP, by the way. And let's do an audio engine as well. God damn those C# reflexes. So what it should be doing is... Oh, this shouldn't be... Alright, no, let's do void with exceptions, never mind. I sort of keep returning to this schematic of using this C style, like, you know, int function, and like what I like assume it to do is like return 1 if it fails or something, but like this dumb basically. I'm in C++, I can throw exceptions. So what I want is void start. What I wanted is also to be able to use devices, so I will need a constructor for that. Audio engine with I believe what RT audio needs is device IDs, and the device ID is an unsigned integer, which is uint (32t), something like this. Why is it not working? Should I include string or something? Or stdlib, maybe? Huh? Oh yeah, never mind, misspelled it. Is it in iostream, right? Where are you? stdint. Whatever. Can I please stdint h? Yeah, right. No, that's not you. God damn it. What do I include? What do I include? What the hell do I include? C++ int types. Yeah, let's do this. uint 16. What do I include? Yeah, but what do I include? How the fuck do I include the standard library? C++, Alright, so they expect me to technically include this, and it's like ST, right? Qualified name is not. Why? Why is it not allowed? Oh, that's. Wait, what you don't. No, what the hell? You can't do that? Really? Why is it not working then? It's a different type or what the fuck? Yeah, that's why I hate C++, by the way. Because I'm not sure if I mentioned that, but like I absolutely hate and despise C and C++ languages. Yeah. But I love them at the same time, so don't get mad at me. They're useful, just annoying to work with. Because like you can't just have a like int 32 type or whatever. No, it's not. It can be standard, right? I don't need like 2 devices for that, by the way. And what else I'm gonna supply here is a buffer size. So buffer size, yeah, it should be. I believe they also expect an assigned integer for that. So buffer size and a sample rate, probably. Yeah, it can be a uint as well. God damn it. Start, shut down. Is there anything else? No, just private things right now, right? So we need to store the buffer size. And the sample rate. So yeah, let's just create a definition of that. And all it's gonna do, by the way, is wait here. It's not seeing the file. Include audio engine HPP. Oh yeah, forgot. Let's remove this include, by the way, and this include. Yeah, this include needs to be here. Let's just change. Yeah, no, it can stay an H file, right? There's no C++ in that. Need to keep that organized, sort of. Also, those two. I believe I should be doing them like this style, just for clarity, right? They're gonna work. They are gonna work because it's in the include path. It's not like a local file. Just made the like CMake file sort of deal with that, but CMake's a mess as well. That's why I don't like C++. Oh my god, stop styles abysmal, by the way. Sorry that you have to look at that. Buffer size, like buffer size, sample rate basically. And I really need to implement the start method as soon as possible. And for that, I will just yoink all that code here. I also need to store the reference to RT audio, right? And you're gonna complain that there's no RT audio library. It's library, include this library. Also the pragma ones. Probably should be in all header files by default, by the way. Not sure why it is not, by the way. Like, it should be the default. What's the problem here? Synth data. But there is a synth data. Oh, right. Great. I also love how like I missed a semicolon here and it threw an error on the other files. Ingenious design on the compiler. So the way it's gonna work. Oh, I also need to pass in the data, right? There also needs to be a synth data pointer passed in here. Do I need to keep the reference to the pointer? I don't. I believe I do not. I need, because it's in the start. Alrighty. So that's not gonna actually do things, right? Is it? Alright, I also need to store the device and the pointer then. Maybe instead of like storing output device ID, I could... Yeah, whatever. It can be like that. Synth data pointer data. Let's call it data. And also include the data file. Yeah. Change the signature here. Data is data. So what we do here is like we need to initialize this.rt audio, and this can go in here, by the way. And here what we do is like discover the devices or whatever. We shouldn't be caring about that in here. So it's just like, I believe there should probably be like a void for that, right? Void list devices. Shouldn't it be static then? God damn it, we're asking the difficult questions, aren't we? Fuck. So what we do with that? By the way, I doubt anyone is watching this, but if you are, you're welcome to join the discussion because I have no clue what I'm doing. Alright, so feel free to just say whatever you want. Didn't really think this through today. Like, it can remain this way. I could do a public static. Is that how statics work, by the way, in C++? I hope it is. Device info RT audio device info array or something. A vector of it. Let's do vector. Yeah, let's do vectors. Never done them, by the way. Is anything wrong in here? No, the formatter is just messing with me. Alright, let's implement it now. Okay, so what it's gonna do is why can I use this in it? Doesn't it detect it's a static function? That it's a static function? Like, shouldn't it be? Wait, that's dumb. That's very dumb. So what we do is basically create an RT audio instance. We get device info, right? Yes. and it returns a single device info. So what we do is like create an std vector, and return the devices at the end. So for size E0, right, we need to like actually store it somewhere. Get device count. Devs dot push back or append or add. How do you add an item to a vector? Push back, I believe. RT get device info, and we pass in the ID of the device. Can I probably should do that? Never mind. Delete RT. Not sure if it's. Yeah, I probably need to do it, don't I? I don't know. I don't know C++. I'm just messing. Alright, so this works, sort of. It's a dumb design, but it works. It should work. Why doesn't it work? Cannot open source file interface engine. Yeah, because I renamed it, that's why. And now it's gonna complain because most of this is not going to work. Yada yada. Oh, actually most of it is going to work, but it's like not gonna work the way I intended to work. And shutdown. Okay. First things first, let's finish this thing here. So what we do here is we create the params. Here we can use output device. This will remain constant for the purpose of this project, probably. I hope. If it doesn't, again, just change it. Input params. Yeah, don't need them. For the format, I'm gonna just use float32. And the sample rate is quite important, actually. So yeah, passing this dot sample rate. Here this output device. And the audio process function. I forgot about it. What do I like? How do I do it? How do I handle the function? Like, where do I handle it? That's the question. And here I just pass in this data, probably. I believe I should be able to pass it in a pointer to the function as like this. And wait, I actually like have a reference for how to do it, sort of, in another project of mine, which I'm just gonna quickly clone for the purpose of this. It's like lines though. I'm gonna clone it recursively though. How do I do it? So it has a static process internal function, and that probably is for a reason. But can the static function somehow get a reference to the object back? Because there are things I'm gonna probably need there. Yeah, so let's just do it the way I did back then. And the data can just be used to like pass in the information about the engine, right? But that means that it can be the variables can be the fields can be private, right? The data fields can be private. Um, hmm. That's some design choices to make. So anyways, I need the audio processing function going. Unless I do it like data parups and data. So basically like passing in all the data as a separate thing completely. Like just as the data, you know, I pass it the reference to this, right? This could work. Isn't this something I do, by the way? I can hear. I need the implementation, not the definition. Yeah, I do it here. Yeah, exactly. It works like this. So I pass in the reference to this and it has the context of the object. All right, that's probably a decent way to handle it. Why don't you like it? Oh, that's not where I should be passing it. This should be this. And here I should have like private. I need the data to be public, basically. Or do I? I don't. Never mind. I'm just dumb. It's gonna be referenced by this from the like internal, right? Right? Or isn't it going to be? Well, there's some difficult stuff going on here. We'll see. If it throws an error, I just do that. So. Exception, and I can pass a message, I believe. How can I do an exception? Error. Exception. Let's see. That's gonna be C++ except. What the hell? Wait. Exception message or something? Oh, I do a runtime error. What? I don't guess this works. And you don't throw a new one, or you do. This works. So now we just need the implementation of the private. Is it private in the other example? Yeah, it's private. All right. If this works, then like why not? Static. I need the HPP file, not the CPP one. Static. I just copy the signature from here because it's the same library basically. So it's static and process internal. Yep, the exact same signature. And let's just call the process internal function. Right, that's how I do it in here. lines though, it's explicit, alright. So there's gonna be audio engine process internal with this passed as the like parameter. And what I do in the process, like the process function itself, so it's like gonna have a similarly named function that's gonna be called process. It's gonna use not a void pointer as the output buffer, it's gonna just use a float pointer as the output buffer. A float pointer is the input buffer. This can remain the same. This I don't believe is gonna come in handy at any point. This is also a bit useless as well. Why are you like this? Oh, right here, forgot the semicolon. And instead of this being a pointer to void, it's gonna be a send data pointer. Right? Yeah, basically that's how it's gonna work. Now let's implement the methods themselves. So what's it gonna return? It's gonna return right, so now we know that this user data is of type audio engine user data. It's gonna be audio engine pointer. And we're gonna call the process function on it, and it's the output buffer which is gonna cast it as a float pointer output buffer, float pointer input buffer. The end frames remains the same, and the send data is gonna be this.data, right? Because it already has a reference to this. Oh goddammit, forgot. Yeah, you can't do that. But it already has a reference to this, so like this.data is the same. So I don't really need to pass in any data in here, do I? Also, I don't like this like naming scheme. That's the same. I hope. Here it needs to remain the same. On different architectures, I believe it's gonna be different probably, but I'm not really gonna deal with different architectures today, so yeah, and here we don't need to pass anything. I really don't like the way it's formatted. This is so bad. Like, why? It's not all that long. But I guess if it does that, or return it as change, no, it does not. Well, whatever. And now to implement the process function itself. For now, I believe the best thing I could do in that function is just write in like any data to the buffer, right? Just do like output buffer I is 0 and return 0 at the end. This should also check if like the stream isn't closing or something. I just yoink the boilerplate from here. I'm just too lazy to write it again. Yeah, so let's just throw information about it to the user. Do I need to do something else here? Start, open stream, shutdown. Shutdown needs to be handled as well. So if RT audio is stream running, let's close the stream. Let's stop the stream and close the stream, and this works, I believe. I could also probably do bool is running to just return RT audio is stream running, and that's gonna be like a method here, the public one, just so that I can like real-time check Right, never mind. Yeah, exactly. Let's use access modifiers, not access modifiers. Oh my god, I'm dumb. Never mind. Now it works. So, by the way, we are getting a record number of completely no watching this. Woo! Achieved my goals. If we try to shut down, otherwise should I do something if it's not running? Nah. I shouldn't. I don't want to care about that. This is just gonna throw the error as well. Could not open stream. Get rid of the uncertainty. We're screaming. Process internal. Yep, that should work basically. Right now for the GUI part. How do we? Yeah, whatever. Let's just delete all that now. Simplify it. I need it as bare bones as possible. So that's the init basically. So that goes in the interface engine init. Or start, rather, start. That goes in here. And we definitely need the EMGY headers here. What was stdio doing here, by the way? I wonder. Why can't it open the damn fucking sdl.h? Why can't it do it? God damn it. Do we need to store? What do we need later? That's the question. So that goes in the update, by the way. We don't have the update. No, I don't need the oxygen comment. Thank you. Process event type. Renderer. What is a renderer? Where do we? Okay, so we need to store the SDL renderer, definitely. So let's just steal this. Probably private one. I'm gonna have to ditch like. Probably something along the lines of this because the naming's just not gonna work later. Actually. Rev. How far do I have to go? I believe the SDL needs to be here. The EMGY. It can remain in the C++ file. What don't you like? Cannot open. Oh, right, whatever. Nobody cares. Absolutely nobody cares. This needs to throw exceptions, by the way, but not now. Flags. Yada yada. Interface engine. Let's just take an SD string window title as the parameter. Weird, now I can use access modifiers or like qualifiers here for the namespace. Probably I'm gonna find someone who's gonna like explain to me why it works the way it works, but not now. Unless someone's in the chat, but I doubt it. There's like only me watching the stream. Pathetic. Pathetic. Alright, the cleanup. I need to store the reference to the window as well, by the way. Just noticed that. The shutdown basically does this. Where is the window? Get window flags, event window, event window, event window. Where do I create a window? Create renderer window, window, SDL window, pointer. Yep. This is just gonna use this window title. I believe you want alright, you won't give me any clues because Visual Studio Code is fucking around and just not working. This dot window width, this window height. Window width, window height, and an SD string, window title. And the constructor takes in an SD string, window title. Title. And set the height as well. That's implemented, that's implemented. Yes, 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 whatever. Those errors are gonna get... I need to change them into like exceptions. And here we just use this renderer and this window as the things we pass in here. Oh, I also need IO, right? What is IO? Void. What the fuck does this mean? What the fuck does this mean? I don't... yeah, exactly. What the... What the fuck? I told you, C programmers are completely off the charts. Like, they're completely buttered insane. Like, that's not even funny. They're just using, like, a random ass instruction in the middle of the code because it disables some compiler warning. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna be insulting them. Just like this is not a safe space for C programmers. I just need to like get it clear. That's not a safe C programmer space. But yeah, I need to store this as well, which is like a C++ thing, by the way. It's a reference. Not sure how this works, but I need imgui in here as well right now, so unless I just type dev it, because I don't want this include to export so many headers. It already exports SDL, which is like a lot. maybe I can just work around it by just type defing them. It's like there's how do I do it? Like, do I just do struct as the L renderer, and there's a struct as the L window, right? And as the LIO is a class for, no, it's also a struct. So they're just like with no as the window. Is this like valid? Nah, whatever. At least I'm not exporting the entirety of SDL now. I hope. I'm very bad at this, as you can see. But now let's use this IO. This window. Event type. Instead of done, we use this. It's done. That's just telling the window to close, by the way. That's nothing special. Here we use this renderer as well. This IO. So we just set some flags in here. This can be, I believe, like we can just do it in a single expression like this. Gonna be a bit cleaner. And here, instead of using this, we'll just use this IO. All right. Just add this qualifier or whatever. Not sure how things are called, by the way. There are times where I like know what the thing is, but like I don't know the name of it in any language. It's even worse in part when like I know it in English and I don't know it in Polish, but like, nah, whatever. It just sucks. Life sucks in general, so. Haha. Why doesn't it get highlighted? Because you don't know what the flags are, right? Alright. This sort of makes sense. This sort of seems to make sense. Now I need to store the reference to the imguil thing. Alright, I'll have to change some things. I'm using C-style pointers, by the way, because I just sort of prefer it. Although it's technically not a good thing. Whatever. So let's just call it IO. And now it's just gonna scream at me because I can't do it like IO dot. I need to do it IO dash, like IO arrow. Maybe something like that. Can I use regular expressions, by the way, for that? There's not a lot of references to that. No, let's leave this one. Let's leave stdio.h alone. Alright. And now the main mistake here is like this should close. Interface engine needs a window title, width and height. Which thing was 400, whatever. CP song. This one's, what did I ask it to take? Now output device 1/3, 129. Buffer size. Let's do 512. Sample rate. To do 500. I don't really need like bigger. And pass the reference to data. Alright. Sort of refactored it, by the way. It took an hour. This literally took an hour. Well, alright. But it should build. Fingers crossed. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, of course it doesn't. So, what don't you like? Undefined reference to audio engine start. Because the files aren't added to sources in CMake lists. So I need to like include source interface engine CPP and source audio engine CPP, right? No, it works. No, it does not, but it's getting closer. Cannot convert IMGUI.io to IMGUI in assignment. And you don't like this because there's no include to the standard library, which I believe we can do. I just include string. Why don't you like it? String in namespace std does not name a type. This is probably fixable by adding include bitch. Like, what the fuck do you expect? Alright. Fix by building. That's the best type of fix. Alright, and it's just gonna scream at me for okay, it's just gonna scream at me for returning things inside of a void now. Is there any other error? Continuous statement, not within a loop. Yeah, return basically. Alright. SDL log, error creating SDL renderer. Right, let's just turn them into exceptions now. That's all that's remaining, basically. Oh my god, today's stream is extraordinarily boring, by the way. It's gonna get more interesting the next time, probably, because today's not very musical. We're just listening to lo-fi chill hip-hop or whatever. But it needs to be done, so let's just throw it like good kid. Runtime. What do I need? Exception, probably. Runtime error. What do you want me to include? What do you want me to include? Tell me. What are you missing? What did I include in the audio engine for the exceptions to work? It uses math-h. Math-h, no, that's not the correct one. This is the correct one. Could not start stream. Runtime error. And you, my friend, where do you come from? std accept. Please autocomplete. std accept. Alright. Error creating SDL renderer. Here, what error do we have here? Let's just get rid of the printfs. And we don't really need to log it, it's not gonna get used anywhere, by the way. Error creating, yeah, what was the error actually? SDL create window. Oh, you want it formatted. Well, good thing we have std format. Or do we? It's gonna be in format. Is this a thing? It is. We want std format. And let's just use this here as the formatter, and as the get error, what does it return? A const char, whatever, that works. As the get error, kill this part. What are we still? Exactly, yeah, CSTR. Woo! We built it! God damn it, it built. It's not gonna work, is it? Yeah. Output device ID is invalid. We are passing 129 as the output device ID, so let's look at what went wrong here. We do the output device. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes total sense. This, alright, this works. We are getting audio output, technically. Yes, we're doing audio output. Look, I managed to refactor the whole thing. God damn it. Using this reverse engineering type workflow or something. It worked from the back, basically. I learned it from Sebastian Lake, whatever. Great guy. This guy here. He's like, he makes a lot of awesome content. Probably if you're still watching this, which I know you aren't, or everybody watching this stream right now knows him, I'm sure of that, because I'm the only one watching. Yeah, but basically he often just creates functions and then just implements them, so I guess C makes it very natural, because you can just like throw in the like HPP, you can just like you know, do a void, do a ridiculous thing, just take some arguments, right, and then just, you know, never implement it. Why would you? Alright, so with this thing out of the way, basically, in the audio engine, what I'm gonna do is so basically the entire thing is sort of our like storage space for like communication space, right? But what we're actually doing here as well is we are using the data for explicit communication between the two parts. So what we need to store here for sure is our sample number, which I'm gonna just use like uint 32t sample, like global like play at, maybe. Yeah, that probably works. And I'm gonna I probably should like alias it somehow, because it's gonna be accessed very often. That's the point. I want this part to only contain like the necessary parameters. Let's see. By the way, in the interface engine here, we probably could do like a void like this draw UI itself, like draw UI, just keep it a draw UI, and we need to define this function somewhere, like void draw UI. And I am going to, first things first, it's private, but I'm going to implement it in another file. So like interface UI.cpp, let's include interface engine HPP, and let's define the void draw UI of interface engine draw UI, and that's gonna handle the drawing. And in here, like, let's include the necessary parts. So this imgui h, probably mostly that header. What don't you like? What do you not like here? All right, and just stick with mgui dot label text. Hello world. Here this thing compiles with no errors. This part works as well. It should like right, it failed. Why? Undefined reference to interface engine draw UI. Yeah, exactly. And now we just need to include this file. Okay, because we need to wait. Will this be enough? Like, is this enough for it to build? It is. All right, exactly. So it just works this way right now, right? Great. It's a shame I just can't like do it so it's a full screen pass through window sort of, so I can drag this frame out, but I don't really need it now. Might consider it later. It's possible. I know that's possible. Just have no clue how to do it. All right. Give me a break for a second, please. By the way, just gonna be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back. And so, what was I on to? Oh, by the way, forgot about this exception here. So it just says error, right? We don't know what error, but an error definitely happens here. Error, just error. Great. Does the interface engine store a reference to the data? It doesn't. Great, I'm a total fucking idiot. It needs some data pointer. Data. Do I include it? Yeah, I should. So let's just sort of get it to a state where it was for now. So when we're drawing UI, what we do is we'll draw a slider for, I would do just imgui, slider float, frequency, and the float is going to be referring to is like this data. Is data empty? Oh, it is. Never mind. Let's make a float for frequency. Let's make float for the volume. the value minimum 10 to like 2000, and the same for volume. Volume from 0 to 1. Alright, and in the audio engine, actually I basically could remove the audio processing part, or I do the same as this guy here. So like to separate audio processing into its own separate function, right? I could do it this way. Where is it? It's audio engine HPP. Yeah, probably should do that. Let's just call it audio process instead of audio processing. Let's just delete most of that stuff and take the part from here. Audio engine, audio process. Just include what's necessary, right? Engine HPP. That's a local file. By the way, including RT audio here is probably a dumb thing. We don't need RT audio here. We just need type defs for this and this probably. RT audio is a class, right? It probably doesn't matter, by the way. It's just gonna cast it. Again, not sure. But yeah, it's a class. Can I just do like class RT audio and like extract RT audio stream status? It's and then sign in, alright? And RT audio device info is struct, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Can I just like do something along the lines of this, or incomplete type is not allowed? Can I somehow include the incomplete type? C++ include, because it's like a type defined in a class, or what? C++ incomplete type nested in class or something like that. Like I need to define or is it like a very dumb thing that I'm trying to do here? Probably it is. Probably it is. So that's an incomplete class declaration. All right. C++, incomplete class. Am I just trying to overcomplicate things for myself? Probably. I actually need the size of it probably here. So I can't just, oh, if I need size of it, I can't use an incomplete type, can I? Oh my god. That's dumb, by the way. Unless I were to store pointers to that. Because a pointer's a pointer. But if I'm actually using it here, I probably just have to leave it alone. Whatever. It's a lot less code than like bringing SDL into the main file. I wouldn't like to do that. RT audio can stay. If there's some way I can like work around it, I probably will be looking like how to do that in the future. I really would like to learn this language, by the way. Here I should be able to use this data and frequency, but I also would like it to be accessible via this data plus plus or something like that. So this playhead plus plus or something like that. That would be very good to have. Playhead. What we are trying to do is the sine wave, right? So it's from math H, I believe. And this time we pass the playhead. Need to convert into seconds. This is divided by this sample rate. And multiplied by pi times 2, and then multiplied by this data frequency, and then at the end multiplied by this data volume. That should work, hopefully. Does it? Alright, lo-fi music, stop. Where is the lo-fi music? Here it is. It failed, the build failed. Playhead, CSTD int. Oh, great, never mind. STD int, CS.int. Are you happy? You're not happy. Audio engine process. Void. What the hell? What the hell? How can you be telling me there's no problems if there clearly are problems, by the way? Oh, because we're using two different libraries, aren't we? What do you mean? Undefined reference to audio engine process, float, unsigned int, syntax error. Where is the error? Here is the error. Alright, how do I handle the error? Lo-fi music for the rescue. What don't you like in here? It doesn't like the fact that it's an unsigned int. Why? uint32. Is there any other error, by the way? It's like the only one, right? It just doesn't like that there's an unsigned int here. Are we using a different library in the audio engine HPP? We're going to CS to the int here, and this function takes the CS to the int type, doesn't it? It does, right? It does. So we use the end frames and we pass it the unsigned int. What's an unsigned int? It's apparently not uint32t for some reason. Right, let's just cast it. It should cast with no problems. 32t. It doesn't want to cast. Undefined reference to audio. Oh, never mind. I'm just dumb. I moved the function to a different file. It's not like erroring out because of the types. Audio process CPP. Yeah, it works. Never mind. I was freaking out for a second. Oh, it doesn't. Enable to open slave. I love opening slaves. Unable to open slave. Unable to open slave. God damn. Why can't I open them slaves? Is this word banned, by the way? Because I'm just like, I'm talking about slave processes. It'd be very funny to get banned on Twitch for like saying stuff about slave processes. Segmentation fault, segmentation fault, segmentation fault. Is it debugging time? Really? Let's see what devices do we have first. So in the main CPP, now we're just gonna use like the audio engine get devices function, which is devices, just get the devices, and for auto device in devices, let's just like see out. There's no. Do I need this, by the way? I don't need this. Do I? I need the IO stream here though. CDC out, device name, semicolon, like a column, whatever. Device dot ID. Let's first check what devices do we have. Alright, it's not working. It's like very not working. Device ID argument not found. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, yeah, right. Get device info, and we're using the index. What? PID? Wait, how the hell did it work before? I have like the changes, by the way, so I can view the file. Oh yeah, alright, it's just iterated over get device IDs. Yep, great. For auto ID, get device IDs, just add them to the vector based on the ID. Now, pulse out is 129 again, and we're using 129, which should technically work. Unable to open slave, segmentation fault. Cool. So it's not working for some reason. That's not a good thing to see, by the way. Let me just be clear. It's obvious. What the hell am I talking about? Let's try debugging it. Alright, it's segfaulted on the... Is it because of the way we initialize it? Like, it should be frequency 0, playhead 0, volume 0, what should be... Out of order initialization, yeah. Yada. It's still not working the way it should. Restart. It's still not getting the rep. I'm passing a fucking null pointer there. Oh, god damn it. I'm a total fucking idiot, by the way. Interface exception. To be fair, it's the first time that while making music I got a SEGFAULT. Oh, technically that's not true, never mind. But the first time I did a like null reference, basically exception. Send data pointer, data, and like let's set this data to data. Good thing debuggers exist. Yep, you work now. Why are you a negative value? What the fuck? Yeah, I messed up that part, didn't I? Is it audible? Enable to open slave, but did it open? There is a device, it's like trying to do something. Why can't I hear it though? Are we doing the audio processing correctly? Process internal. Playhead. Oh, we are not doing anything with the playhead. That's the issue here. That's what we should be doing. Now it's gonna probably work. No? It is not. Oops. Is it like playing anything? It's completely silent. Divided by the sample. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. This the sample rate. It's just doing it using like it's not doing the math the way it should. Right? No? Are you using float for division or not? Why can't you tell me that? Output buffer, yes, we're filling the output buffer. We should be filling it correctly. God damn it. Oh my god, yeah, something went wrong there. like no attenuation to it. So what basically is going on is you take one signal, it's like this, right? And then you change its frequency. So like basically what happens is like you had another signal that had like was going like this, right? And then you change this signal to this frequency. So basically wherever this signal was, it just sort of picks up here, right? So it just goes like this, and you get this very sharp edge that just sort of snaps, and you hear the speaker popping because of that. Oh god damn it! It works. We have the same thing I had at the beginning. Great. It only took 2 hours. This stream is just so terrible, by the way. But hey, for the complete 0 people who are watching this, thank you. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad to be here, to be fair. So, yeah, I guess. Let's commit it, by the way. Restructurings. Aren't they? Oh god damn it. Why aren't they? Global username? No, it's like user. Global user dot name. No. Yep. This did it basically. Alright. So now let's go to the more musical part. Hopefully the more musical part. I don't have to care about all this like nonsense here. So let's try doing the envelope thing, because it's gonna be basically necessary for me to do. And I'm single tracking it, so yeah, it's just gonna work this way, right? Anyways, I'm gonna need some helper functions for that, because like I'm just gonna need helper functions, right? So what I would like to do is to get a double, something like samples to seconds. This is the naming I use for it in different places. The sample number, by the way, can be a size T. It can get bigger than size T as long as I remember. So let's use that as the sample number in the data struct as well. A small change, but an important one. Let's just convert it. It's gonna be an inline. Oh, or should it be inline? It shouldn't. Let's just keep it as a double. But I can define it here, I believe. No, let's just keep the definitions out of here. I'm not sure about them. Maybe. Whatever. If it throws an error, I just go with it. So what we do is we take at and divide it by this dot sample rate. So what this does is converts it to seconds. Convert samples to seconds. We need to add as a, and we need this as a double basically, so let's divide it by like this. This should work. And we also want seconds to samples. It's gonna be useful. So it's gonna be like S to SM, and it's just gonna return me a size T and take a double and it's gonna basically do this instead, and round it to the size T. Those are gonna be convenient in many places, I assume. So let's do a button that resets the playhead. Let's display the playhead in general. So I believe you do label text. Yeah, that's how you do it. Time. Formatting, so it's gonna be like %F maybe. Let's just pump this to data. Actually, a reference to the audio engine is necessary from the UI engine. The inverse is not necessarily needed, by the way, but the interface engine will probably need a reference to the audio engine as well. Engine. So let's include it. Audio engine. Do I need it like this? Yeah, let's keep it like this. Engine, a pointer. Forgot it should be a pointer. The definition is gonna be wrong now, but it's gonna be this dot audio engine. Not at. Wait, is it at? No, it doesn't have to be. Right, we're just doing formatting here. Why is it like throwing errors here? Oh, because it's not doing the constructor. I'm not doing the constructor correctly. Audio engine pointer audio engine. Oh my god, what the hell am I doing? Not here. In interface engine CPP, there should be an additional parameter here for the audio engine. Set the audio engine to the parameter itself. Did I forget to create a variable for it? Oh, it's just called engine. Problem's gone. This audio engine, and those shouldn't be private, should they? Because that's the main reason I need them, by the way. I also will store things like time signatures in it, so wait, what the hell did I do for this Republic? That's still private. You're gonna error out. Yes, what are you suggesting it then? S to SM. Seconds to samples? No, samples to seconds. And this is gonna be like this data playhead. What's wrong, my dear? You're not getting the reference. Now you're getting the reference. And the time's flowing, as you can see. And the time flies by in the yellow and green. Great, now I'm gonna get copyrighted by him as well. Yeah, but this works. So let's do a reset button. MGUI button. Replay. Basically, if it happens, then we just set this data playhead to 0. Great, this works. You can hear the signal snapping, sort of, so you can be sure it works. It'd be great to have an oscilloscope, by the way. I just realized how nice it would be to have an oscilloscope. So they have like an oscilloscope of any sort. Scope. I have YAS, which is a terrible scope, by the way. Should I write my own oscilloscope from scratch using nothing but fucking Rayleigh or IMGUI in this case? It'd be good to have an IMGUI scope. This would come in handy. Is there something like is there something like that? Like, what do I how do I can I take draw? It's like a canvas for IMGUI. I guess. Is there like a graph? Maybe? Graph would do. Immediate mode plotting. Implot. How do you use it? I just want to see the usage. Plot bars, bar data. That would be so dope to have. No, I'm yanking this library. I'm completely taking it. How do I use it? Setup, add to your sources. Alright. Implot H, implot whatever. So you're telling me it's just like simple source files. Great. I can use it as a submodule. I'm definitely going to use this. It's so good. Let's set up an oscilloscope for that. I need a submodule for that. Git submodule add path to this guy. It's gonna be third party implot. And we need to edit the CMake file for IMGUI. So it's gonna be in include things. Let's use third party implot also as an include path, and append IMGUI sources, and we need to append the implot sources as well. Backends, not backends, implot. What files do we have here? Third party implot, and we need to include what files do we need? Tell me. What do you want me to include? What do you want me to include? Implot H, implot CPP, implot items, does it build? Build, please build, darling. Please build, darling. Alright. Did that build? Woo! All right. So now I should be able to use the input library as well. So let's see. Can I like? Oh, but copying stuff is gonna be. What if we don't copy? We just need the pointer to it. So let's just do a dumb thing. And let's export the buffer, basically. Wait, how it's gonna work? Because it can technically SEGFAULT if the buffer is moved to a different location. But if it's not, we can display it. How much resources do you think it takes, though? I need to figure that part out. But maybe I can just about afford copying those values. Just do like samples test, and it's a size t sample count, something like this. By the way, do I have to initialize it this way? Because it's annoying. Like it should be all zeros. It works. If it works, it works. It works. Great. Interface UI. Great. Interface engine. Data H. Interface engine. So in the interface UI now, how do we use include implot.h? I assume. How do we use this? Because it seems very simple, that's why I chose it. It's compelling to use, but how do we use it? We need to create context wherever you do so for imgui context, and destroy it as well. Great, that's not hard. That's here. Let's include the implot library. Implot h, where we create the context. We need to implot, yeah, create context. And we need to destroy the context when we destroy context. Do we need to destroy like in order, or is it not all that important? It first, oh, alright, it needs to be destroyed first, technically. Great. And how do we actually use this? It's just, yeah, too many windows. Implot, backend, myplot. Why do we use if? Plot bars, plot line, my window. So we begin by using this. All right, it has a size. We just plot the line, right? So I should technically be able to do something along the lines of I am plot line, right? In the UI. Let's begin in like a new area here. I'm GUI begin. Scope. I'm GUI begin plot. I'm plot begin plot. Begin plot. My scope or something. I am plot and plot. I am GUI end. My scope and plot. Cool. All right. And here I am plot line, and we want to plot label ID data whatever txs Hope you're gonna work with floats. Just, yeah, they use floats here, so it should work all right with floats, right? Stride, wise, axis and wise. Oh my god, that's too much. Const values, count, x. All right, that's better. So here we use this data dot samples test. That's this one. This data samples count, sample count. Go away. Count. That's the count. That's the count, brother. Const the axis. Oh right, the x again. All right. Let's see if this has any potential. So what we want to do first is when we start the audio engine, we need to allocate space for them. So the buffer size doesn't change. That's what we know. So we need to allocate. Data space for the array, right? So this data dot sample count is buffer size. This data samples test needs to be can I allocate, how do I allocate an array in C++, like to do it in a good way, basically? Allocate array C++. Do I just like malloc it? Oh, I can just do new int array. Cool, that's good. That's very good. New float array sample count buffer size, whatever. We need to do copies. Is there like a C++ copy array? Copy an array in C++. std copy. All right. std array. All right, but that's not what we're doing. Let's hope. Yeah, I believe that's how it works. Something similar, I believe, I was doing something similar in Rust some time ago. I'm very new to this low-level stuff, by the way. You can probably see it at the first glance. I'm just trying not to get a SEGFAULT, basically. That's what I'm trying to do. If it doesn't SEGFAULT, it's a win for me. So, memory leaks? What? Shut down. Interface engine. Where was it supposed to be? Oh, here, audio process. So after we do this, we basically copy the array and it will complain. The source array is our output buffer. What do we expect then? Wait, what do we expect? Huh? Copy. What do you expect? Let's include algorithm and include iterator. Let's include them. Maybe it will help somehow. It's error types. std begin. Like, what the hell do you expect me to put in here? Val array. Output. Yeah, that should work. Output buffer, and the destination is this. data dot samples test basically. Why don't you want to work? Just work for me, please. You want like this? This doesn't make sense. It's like, no, that's too much, definitely. STD begin. How the fuck do I use STD begin? Auto begin count. What? Returns an iterator to the beginning of the given range. What? CD vector. STD begin. Alright, but like, what if I have the pointer and the length? Oh, that's why it doesn't work. Never mind. What do you want then? STD copy. First and last. So the first one is output buffer. The last is output buffer plus 1000 plus like the length, right? So so plus this dot plus n frames, and the result is this dot data dot samples test. Does it SEGFAULT? That's the question here. It's probably gonna SEGFAULT. It doesn't SEGFAULT! Oh my god! It doesn't SEGFAULT. God damn it. No way I made it work. I got it working. We have an oscilloscope, guys. That's just such a fucking win, by the way. I wasn't expecting it to work so quickly, by the way. I thought it was just gonna SEGFAULT. Unfortunately, like, it's only like a single buffer basically, so we get like 512 samples here, so higher frequencies would just be very rapidly scrolling, right? But it's something. God, I love IMGY. Can I just reset the view, by the way? Is there like a simple view reset? Yeah, there is. This works. Now we can just deform the signal too. So maybe we should be doing it in the... No, let's do it here. Not sure if we need to be copying that, by the way. But I believe that's a good way to keep it safe. Because if we're just passing the pointer to the output buffer, like the frame rendering is not completely synchronized with the function, right? So like I don't care that the samples can get overridden, but if we like switch memory places, basically if we reallocate for some reason, what would happen is like we'd basically be pointing into some random memory place, right? So what I'm talking about is like you have this audio engine running, right? And it's just running completely separately from the UI thread, right? So it's like the audio and the UI thread. So like the audio thread it just sort of has this buffer here, just like buff. And what we're doing right now is we're just, every time we run the audio function, which runs more often than the UI function, usually at least, what we do is we like have it copy its instance like to the UI thread basically. It's like you get its own copy. And what I was thinking about doing is was like instead of doing this, we can just say, hey, you can have a pointer to buff. But the problem is that like the UI thread is sort of just doing its own thing, right? And then the audio thread just out of nowhere decides to, hey, actually no, we need to reallocate that. That's not gonna be here. That's now just gibberish, right? And this still points to this place. And the UI buffers and the UI thread is trying to read from gibberish now, so that's gonna probably lead to a SEGFAULT. So that's why we're copying it here. Anyways, let's just save it as os, but maybe let's rename it first. So like final samples. If we are passing both like count and test, maybe it would make sense to have it as a vector, potentially, because we can like push samples to the vector and just render the vector. Maybe output samples, or like output scope. Let's discard it, by the way. This is not needed because we know how many there are, and this is just needed because it's output scope values. And you just refactored it automatically for me, but you're gonna fail because here we have the sample count, but we have the audio engine and we know the buffer size. We don't know the buffer size. What we want is a way for the audio engine to let us know about the parameters, but they're get only, they're read only, right? So get buffer size and get sample rate. And yeah, playhead can be changed basically. Although maybe we want to have like a set playhead or something like that. Whatever. Let's just keep it the way it is. It's a dirty project. It's a dirty project. I hope I can do something like that without it causing problems. Actually, let me check. Like C++ header file getters. Yeah, basically this works for me, for my use case. Get buffer size. This should still work. Let's just double check that. No sample count. Oh yeah, right here. Doesn't need it now. Alright, let's try implementing the ADSR envelope. And we can actually craft the envelope as well, technically. Because it's just gonna be like a set of values, right? So we can visualize it using the library. So let's try doing the envelope first. Maybe let's just for fun. Let's commit changes as well. Oscilloscopes. Is it like double? Yes. Yet another scrolling scope. How do you spell oscilloscope? Yeah, that I spelled it correctly. Okay, so we have the scope here. Audio processing. Let's do a square wave. What I believe I can do is pump it through an STD sign. Let's see. Yep, it can deal with floats, so we're fine. But we need to offset it by STD sign bit. Where does it start and where does it end? See, I hate this formatting. It's done for me automatically. We need to like change it by -0.5. Why is it like in its own line? Like, what the fuck? Multiply it by 2 and then multiply it by the volume. See? We're getting a square wave now. Great. Fascinating. Peak entertainment. Actually, a quick check. I'm wondering whether this like frequencies match. So let me just do a quick check against like this frequency generator or something like that. That's annoying to listen to, isn't it? So like a frequency generator, online tone generator, and we are at 458.566. Let's hear it. Shut up. All right, and now square. It sounds the same. I'm sorry for ear-raping you all, by the way. Nobody's watching. I don't have to be sorry. But yeah, it works. I'm just so fucking proud of this scope right now. I know I've done very little today, but like, that was a huge, like, thing for me. Hey, let's appreciate the little steps. Let's appreciate the little steps. Alright, the ADSR envelope. How do we actually generate the ADSR envelope, by the way? I have it open here. Oh, god damn it. That's quite sus. Okay, so like I can either do it as an if else statement or just like multiplying by bits or something. So what we do is first we need to define the times, right? It's just gonna be like float, let's just float ADSR. And should it be, yeah, it's gonna be like in total. And in the audio process, we're just gonna have to like calculate the envelope, right? So let me just introduce a float here to calculate envelope. And it's gonna take a time, ADSR. So how do we calculate it now? This is gonna calculate the amplification, by the way. So first, the time, the attack time. So it's like goes from 0 to 1. So we basically like lerp the value from 0 to 1 using the attack time, like the time divided by attack time. SED lerp is a function. Hope it doesn't have much overhead, by the way. It's like it's lerp from 0. It doesn't require lerp, it's a dumbass. Just need to clamp it. So we need to divide time by A, and you need to clamp it between 0 and 1. What do you mean? 0.0, 1.1, 1F. Like what do you not like? SD clamp. What is wrong? TP val. I just fucking don't get it sometimes. What's wrong? Tell me, C++, man. C++ clamp. SD clamp. How do you want me to use it? A usage example. Exactly. So time. You want a float? I'm giving you a float. 0.0f, 1.0f. It's fine now. Alright, so you just don't like when it's like 0f. Alright. Fine. Okay, I assume it's fine. And this returns a float basically. So that's my amplification. It goes from 0 to 1, and now we enter the second phase, right? So the decay phase. We need to like lerp using the decay factor. We need to lerp from the attack. So like that's the attack factor. And now the decay factor. That's gonna be STD clamp. We need to clamp time minus attack. And here is like time divided by attack. We need to time minus attack divided by decay. Between 0 and 0.0f and 10f, and this decay minus attack time, so it's alright. Yeah, that's gonna work. By decay. So now the release factor. We don't really have a release factor. We just have a attack, decay, because we don't have the key press and release, right? We don't have this handled. So we're just gonna have a sustain time instead. It's like release sustain factor, maybe ST what we do is let's do time minus A minus D divided by sustain time. Wait, no, we don't need to do it. We just need to release factor. Oh, it's not gonna be optimal, is it? It will be more optimal to just use a bunch of if else's, wouldn't it? I'm just goofing around right now. So wait, clamp. We need to clamp it between 0 and 1. That is like the release factor. So we just subtract ST here and we divide it by R. And again 0.0F, 1.0F. And what we want to return finally is std lerp. We need to lerp between 0 and 1 using the attack factor. And now let's lerp between the value of this and the value of sustain using the decay factor. And now on top of that, let's lerp from that to back to 0 using the release factor. God fucking damn it. That's a terrible way to write code, isn't it? Alright, but now using the data envelope, we'll just multiply it by calculate envelope using this data playhead and take this data A, this data D, this data. We don't have the sustain time. We need to add sustain time as this data S and this data R. Let's add the ST to the data. Are you happy now? You are. And let's add this missing part to the UI. Alright, let's just add them here. So there's gonna be slider A, D, god damn it. Can you just like work once? Visual Studio, thank you. A, D, S, R. Never mind, those should be lowercase. wanted to speed up my workflow but failed miserably. And we also need an ST. And they don't necessarily need to be limited 1, like limited 3, just not an unreasonable value because it's gonna be boring. And okay, the attack, let's leave it at 0, and let's see the sustain time. It's not working, is it? It's not doing a thing. Why isn't it doing a thing though? Audio process, let's see. First, we lerp the release factor, which is going to be 0. Oh, because it's in samples. That's why. Here, by the way, instead of doing this, I can just use this S to SM to S. There's the data to the playhead. Wait, what? Oh my fucking god, it's too complex. Why is it like doing this weird formatting though? Wait, that's a sine bit of this. Give me the sine bit of this. Alright, and that is oh, there's mismatch in the braces. Oh my fucking god, the braces here are killing me. Wait, this relates to this, so we need one more bracket here. Here. The formatting is terrible here. Alright, now let's change the ST to something. The volume to something as well. Not working at all because the stains. You see? It's working. You can barely hear it. I guess it's muted for some reason, but it's here. It cuts up abruptly, but did you see that? Yeah, it's doing the thing. It's doing the attack. Like, let me do it again. And now the decay. And now the release. We are getting somewhere. Let's get the attack a bit lower. The sustain time is a bit low. But we are doing the envelope. We're definitely doing it, right? That's entertainment for you guys. This is like, let's just get more bassy, right? And yeah, we're grooving. Hell yeah. I can like make it end abruptly too. So. This is too abrupt though. Maybe too much of a decay though. Yeah, that's the groove we're going for. Alright, but for real, we do have like an ADSR envelope going on, right? So to make music, so what is music? Like, what do you usually like store music in? It's like in regular MP3s, right? So you just have some MP3s lying around and you just sort of have music in them, right? It's like I can get an MP3 of my favorite song or something, whatever. It's audio data in the end, right? So it's just a bunch of samples. Do I have any audio data in here? I do not. Right, let me just load in anything. Let me just load in anything. Do I have like any nice sound here? Demo. Yeah, whatever. This can do. We're getting copyright claimed anyways, so. Right. No. But here, that's an MP3, right? Just a bunch of samples. When you zoom into it, it's just samples like we have here, right? But what we want to store, because we don't really want to store like the song in PCM form in the C file. That would be boring, because that's basically making an audio player. We don't want that, right? So what we want is to store something more like MIDI. Not sure if I have Reaper. I don't have Reaper. Do you have anything that's like a MIDI editor? I do actually. TK Arranger. Tech Arranger, right? So this is a very experimental piece of software. It's not mine. Don't remember the author of it. But what it does is basically like you have this those notes stored here, right? So that's MIDI for you, basically. So I can't really play it for you, but those are notes, and like we know that it's a C4 and it's stored in the first bar, and it's in the first beat, and it's like the first quarter note or whatever. The musical notation is gonna get important, probably not today, but maybe tomorrow, because that's a very complex subject in itself. So yeah, it's demanding for my brain, and I don't want to do demanding things today. But like, do I want to store MIDI data? That's the question. Probably in one form or another. That would mean writing a MIDI parser. But what if I didn't? So maybe I can find like a way to do MIDI editing inside of C, so that I don't have to leave like the editor itself, or I make my own MIDI editor that will just compile MIDI into C. Because I definitely don't want it to like have external files. No, it's a statically linked executable. You can just sort of, when you go into build, you have basically this executable here, and you can just sort of, run it, right? And it's here to work. If you tune the settings, of course. But yeah, it should basically work on most Linux systems. It can work on other systems as well if I just change like 2 or 3 lines of code. So that's not a lot of changes. All right. So how do I like store a song now, right? How do we do it? Well, what MIDI does is it stores like note on and note offs, basically, and automation data can be stored in MIDI as well. So we have MIDI editors. So it'd be shame not to like use MIDI as a like a in between format. So like for editing, it would be easier to use MIDI. But if we don't have MIDI, we can just store note ons and note offs in like arrays or something, right? But for that, it would be useful to have a concept of beats and of like any sort of note lengths or whatever. But for now, let's just like experiment a bit. So what if I have like a event.h, and it's going to be struct event, make it C compatible, and it's gonna just have a size t start, like, or maybe like time, and it's gonna have a byte, so it's like a uint8t type, right? And let's just store the parameter as well. So like MIDI notes have the pitches parameter. We aren't constrained to that. So let's make it even simpler. So let's for now let's make it more specific. So it's gonna be a note event. It's gonna start at time. It's gonna last duration. And it's gonna have a float to store the frequency or pitch of the note, basically. All right. Is there anything? No, you don't want me to do anything. The size t is gonna be problematic probably for you, isn't it? We're just gonna deal with that. See as the and let's include that for the sake of like future sake, right? Great audio engine. In the audio process, let's store, because what we could technically do is like do it grid, but I don't want to do it grid. Let's just do an array, like a static array in the middle of my C code, whatever. It's gonna be a static and a constant. Node event array. Let's declare it like so. Divide specifier for structure. You don't know what a node event is. Why don't you like it? Structured binding declaration. Oh yeah, right. Now. Has no user provided default constructor. What do you mean? Oh, what? Oh, god damn it. I'm just dumb. Can it be static? It can. Can it be constant? It can. Great. And it's gonna be like, can I just like do it via this? I guess this works. So that's samples to beats. So let's initialize it with this dot s to sm. Sm samples to seconds, seconds to samples. So let's just make it from 0.5 to 1. Please, you can do like 1. Yeah, that's annoying. Music, get back the music. It's too boring, even for me, not to have the music in the background. Release factor. You can scope values, frequency, release factor. Where was I? Here. Let me play an A. And then from 1F to 1.0 F to 1.02 F maybe, not to have it immediately after. Let me play it at a higher frequency, so maybe something like wait, what are the note frequencies like commonly used? Come on, I don't need anything. Great, and you can't even copy that. Amazing web design. let's just play an A4 for 40 and like a C4 261 apparently. So what we do here, so it processes this thing. Okay, so let's just find out like what the event is right now, right? So, oh god, we need to figure out the last event basically. At each given frame for just set nodes, size of node event J++, and what we do here, right? So if dot data dot playhead is greater than nodes j dot time, okay, but we like need to process whether it was like already done or something like that, right? Yeah, that's why like having it as a single event is bad basically. So let's like maybe static size t at event or something like that. Oh god, that's gonna be terrible, by the way. So if it's greater than nodes j plus time, we don't need to do the loop, by the way. We just like if there's the data.playhead is greater than nodes at event divided by 2 dot time, and if it is, then we like do at event plus plus and this, and at event divided by 2 is 0, then we do an it at event plus plus, we trigger node on, which means like let's use float let's use it here static float last node start, and let's do last node pitch. That's gonna be a size T node. And so the last node start is gonna be at event divided by 2 dot nodes dot time. Actually, we can just calculate the like sustain time. Yeah, that's what we can do. It's like without this division by 2, which is very weird. It's making it very difficult. So if it's greater than the at event time, last node start and last node duration. You're gonna do because it's not a start and end, right? It's like it's a start and end, right? The duration at event dot duration minus nodes at event time, and that value here is in samples. And it's gonna SEGFAULT, by the way. So we can do like if nodes if at event is less than 2, basically. So less than the length. That's gonna be minus this, and we need to clamp this like to the max STD max out of 0 and this. What don't you like? What do you not like? All right, and the ST is not gonna be, we're not using the ST, we're using node that's last node start, and here we'll be using the last node duration. Oh my god, no, that's that should be. All right, let's just not panic. This the last node duration without this. Is it gonna work? I know. All right, it's the sustain is sort of ruining it probably. Let's have the release at 0. He's doing something. It's greater than the nodes at event time. Oh, the frequency is just not taken into account, is it? Distributes last note pitch like this. It did something. I saw it do something. Okay, it does a thing. Why is it doing it in such a weird way? It's definitely doing something. Oh, I'm not. I was not doing anything with the value, that's why. Okay, so it plays a single note. What if this was like later? Okay, it plays only the second one. Why does it play only the second one? Like at event is 2, at event is 1, bigger than its time, so it's not changing. So like the last note start and pitch and stuff should remain correct. Interesting. So why is it doing that? That's the time we pass here, right? STD max, yes. If the last node start is for some reason the next node start. and it's not definitely not greater than this. So it should be like 0 d like duration. Yeah, that matches. The pitch. Doesn't make sense. The pitch changes like to the correct value, so this function runs. Maybe let's like make the first one very high frequency so that I like can notice the difference more easily. Like what is it? 8A something like that. Oh, alright. The first time it plays both of them. But, alright. If the time is 0, basically, then we need to reset it. Because it's static. So if this data dot playhead is like less than nodes 0 dot time, then we just bring the add event to 0 again. That's why it wasn't working probably. Let's see. So we want the volume a bit up. Oh my god, we're getting music here. It's basically like playing a predefined audio track at this point. If I was stubborn, I could like make it play anything I want. So, what I'm gonna do now is to get it to play the Among Us theme and end the stream for today. Because I really wanted to play the Among Us theme again. So, the Among Us theme goes, if I remember correctly, it's like, let's see, piano, virtual piano. It's like C, it's C, E flat, right? Yeah, that's E flat. F sharp. So let's play. Let's use it to play this Among Us theme. Right, so we want C, D sharp, E flat. Right, so the duration is 0 to like, how long is it? Like 0.0, 0.1 maybe? Whatever. We play this frequency. Then from 0.2, I'll match the timing later, 0.3, I play this frequency, then F sharp now, so yep, this one, 6, this frequency here, Dun 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 dun. So it goes back basically. It's like dun 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 dun, and then we go back to dun. Dun dun. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 notes. Let's just use it at 7. Let's put it at 7. Dun 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 dun. It's probably gonna be too fast, right? Let's hear it. That wasn't. That was not what I was expecting, to be fair. Let's not have the first note start at 0, because it only plays the last note probably. Because of the glitch, because you can hear it sort of trying playing notes with no volume, and it just sort of fails for some reason, and it just pops. So I just have it play the notes with some volume to it. Yeah. Great. Like the highest note is a bit longer, like twice as long. Not twice, but like it's a bit longer. So let's just make it 0.8, then like 0.9, 0.1. 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. And then we go, I believe, to A sharp. That will be our next note. Dun, dun. Like, how do we? Later, so that's C, E flat, F, and F sharp. I believe go back to F, go back to E flat, go back to C. So we want the E flat now. This is the A, by the way, so let's just use the correct frequency. I think that's A sharp. From 1 point. Dun 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 dun. Dun. A, E flat now. And C at the end probably. The timings 1.8, 8 to 1.9 and 2 to 2.1. Fuck you. Fuck you, C compiler. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 10 events now. Right. What I could hear is like this probably should be longer. And let's just make it so that like the initialization of the audio engine actually sets the volume. Well, no, because it's not gonna work anyways, right? So let's set the volume, attack, decay, stain. Almost there. The timings are wrong. Okay, so that like this note should not be as long as it is, right? That's the issue here. This dun. This note is too long. Oh god damn it, should have made it as a duration. Changing so many times now. Oh, excuse me. Dun. That one should be longer, like 1.4. Does this work? Let me hear it. Okay, so like, why is it? Oh, because this note's completely. This should be also like, did it? Let's try this. This is too long, to be fair. It's like, it should be quicker. Great, getting to this domain is gonna be amazing, isn't it? 75, 85. 1.95.3. I don't think this was necessary actually. Should have tested it with sound first. I have no clue why is it popping like that though, because it shouldn't be popping at all. It shouldn't be making any sound. You can see that there's no sound on the scope, right? But you hear those pops. Why is it like doing? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So this should be shorter, probably. Mm-hmm. I'm annoyed by having to set it again and again. Can I like, I don't think I can like set the default values in the interface itself, can I? So I can't like do, well, does this work? It works. And the first note is too long as well. So let me just quickly change that. So the first note here should be like also like half length, 65. Then this starts at 1 point 65 as well, technically. 1.7, let it start at 1.7. And last still 75. Then this the scenes 85. Or something like this maybe. This will have to do for today. This will have to absolutely do for today. I'm tired. I wanna get some sleep. So after all this time, what we have is brilliant. Let's do a commit. And let's wrap it up for today. So we have a program that you can just run from your computer, from your Linux computer to be precise. And if you run it, it plays the Among Us theme song with no like sound players required. Amazing. Great. So that will do for today. So thanks to the nobody who tuned in. And probably see you tomorrow or today at a later hour. Probably. No promises though. So that's it for today from me, and yeah, we're ending the stream. So yeah,